Hello everybody, it is good to be with you on one more video. I got some good stack of vinyl to show you, some recent finds now that I finally went digging again. But before we start, I pay tribute on this video. Yeah, the Brothers Johnson. Unfortunately, Louis Johnson passed away recently, a few days ago. And I went and picked this album up on Saturday, yesterday, and from the Brothers Johnson. It's called Blam! And I was real sad when I heard the news of Louis Johnson passing away. I've always been a fan of the Brothers Johnson and their music because of my older brother. My older brother was a big Brothers Johnson fan back in the 70s, and I was just a wee lad of maybe 7 or 8 years old when he would buy all their records on 8-track actually and bump them around the house. And so every time I listen to Brothers Johnson, it always takes me back to the 70s when I was a kid, you know, being raised on old school R&B, and I was real sad to hear that he passed away. He was real young too. He was only 60. That's not that old, and just a shame that he passed away. So I bought this on Saturday to pay tribute to him. Great musician, absolutely wonderful bass player, badass bass player actually. And this record's pretty nice looking. It gets that custom label treatment. So really nice find, really nice collection of songs. The world lost a badass bass player when he passed. The world is a lot less cooler without him in it. So I pay tribute to Mr. Johnson and the Brothers Johnson with this vinyl find. This will make the third Brothers Johnson record in my collection. Their music is so awesome, and like I said, I was sad to hear him pass, so my tribute to Louis Johnson and the Brothers Johnson. Awesome album, awesome album. Alright, the next two I'm going to show you, I bought around Record Store Day, around there, like maybe a week later after Record Store Day, and I just never really showed it in a video. So I thought I'd start now. Why not? No better time than the present. Let me lower that a little bit. The first album comes from a pop band called Vertical Horizon. This is Echoes from the Underground is the name of the album. Just basically a pop band, pop rock band. I first heard of them back in 1999 with the song Everything You Want and You're a God and Blue Sky Morning. Great pop songs from the late 90s, early 2000s. Really great band. Always loved their pop songs. Oh, there's the back. So, and ever since that was like their big album, Everything You Want, and their big song. And they kind of shot up real quick in popularity after that album was released and that single. The albums they released after that really were good songs, good albums and good songs. They just didn't quite grab the attention of people as those big hit singles I mentioned. So when this album came out in 2013, I bought it on CD, and it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. I purchased this around Record Store Day. I didn't even know this album was on vinyl. I've had it on CD since 2013, and it came on colored vinyl with this nice marble finish to it. A really beautiful album. This is a 2-record set, and of course it has the custom label. It's the label on all the records. So 2-record set. There's the green and marble album, and the next one is a blue with a marble. See if I can get it out of here. Show you. Like a bluish gray color, really, but real pretty. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. When I ordered these records, I thought they would just be in black vinyl. I was real surprised to see this colored vinyl. I was like, oh wow. I mean, first of all, I didn't even know it was on vinyl. I had the CD since 2013, so to see this being offered at a special sale in honor of Record Store Day, I went and jumped on their online store and purchased it. not even knowing it was colored vinyl, and man, there's some great songs on this album. Unfortunately, the album was not a big hit for him, and I think that's a shame. There's some great songs on here: "Broken Over You," "Evermore," "Consolidation," "Love Struck," "Frost," "Instamatic." Instamatic, actually, Neil Peart from Rush drums on the song Instamatic. He played drums on their last album, a couple songs on their last album too, so Neil Peart from Rush did some drums on the last, this record and the one before it, so always cool to see that. Just some amazing songs on this album. There's a song here called "Love Struck." It is just awesome, so really love this album. Unfortunately, it didn't do much for Vertical Horizon. It wasn't a big hit for him, and it's too bad because the music on this album was really good. One of the best albums they put out since Everything You Want, and just a shame that it didn't hit big for him. But Echoes from the Other Ground, great stuff. Also on Record Store Day, I got the latest 10-inch record from Garbage. A song called "The Chemicals." Let me take it out of this sleeve here. So side 1 we have "The Chemicals," and side 2 we have a song called "On Fire." Garbage for the last couple of years have put out a 10-inch single on Record Store Day. It's like a tradition with them. It's on orange vinyl, but that custom label on side 1 and side 2. Nice looking record. This is a better collection of songs than the previous two they put out on Record Store Day. This one's a lot better than the last two. Definitely better than the last one they put out last year. Just a really good song, really cool stuff. Garbage is currently recording a new album, and I can't wait to hear it. I always loved Shirley Manson. Think she's one hot-looking woman, but she has an incredible voice and writes really good lyrics. Really dig her lyrics. So those are my 2 Record Store Day finds. This is from a dig. The Brothers Johnson record, the rest of these albums I'm about to show, is a dig I just did on Saturday, yesterday. And lately I've been into radio interview records, especially from the host Jim Ladd, the radio host. It took me a while to realize who he was. I always knew who he was. I just couldn't put the name with the voice, I guess. And once I put the two together, I was like, oh, that's Jim Ladd, because I have one Jim Ladd record where he interviews In Excess. And on this next one I found Jim Ladd interviewing the band Heart from 1985. So there we go. Heart, 1985, they were promoting their self-titled record, Heart, which had the songs What About Love and Never on it, These Dreams. And there you go, Jim Ladd, interview with Heart, 1985. Good interview, real fun interview. Learned a lot about the songs, a lot about the lyrics, a lot about what the band was about back in '85. It is a real nostalgic trip back. Even the old interviews from Budweiser and the U.S. Army are on here as well. The whole thing is mapped out per segment, all the times and what commercials come in. It's just like listening to the radio back in the '80s. And I miss shows like Jim Ladd's show, and we had a few here. King Biscuit Hour, that was one I really liked because it was all live recordings. Genesis was on there a few times. Rush has been on there. Van Halen. So Jim Ladd interviewing Heart from 1985. The whole interview, the whole hour show, and on a record, really cool stuff. The next one is from Pink Floyd, a collection of great dance songs. This is one I didn't have in my Pink Floyd collection. I really didn't think I needed it because it's just a compilation of about 6 songs. Side 1 has One of These Days, Money, which was re-recorded for this record that came out in '81, and Sheep. And then side 2, Shining You Crazy Diamond, Wish You Were Here, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. I really didn't see the need for this collection, really, this compilation. Maybe it was just a quick cash grab for Pink Floyd. I really don't know, but I figured what the heck. Nice addition to the Pink Floyd collection. Has these custom labels on it. Let me make sure I'm going the right side up here. There we go. There's the custom labels. Side 1, side 2. Cool stuff, cool stuff. I actually like listening to this. I have all the albums that these songs are from, so that's what I meant by it. I felt like I didn't need it, but it was a piece that I don't see out there on vinyl very often. And I didn't have it, so, and I love these songs, so what the hell, right? And it was, I think I got it for like $7. I figured that's not bad. It's something that, you know, like I said, it's rare to see this on vinyl. I once saw, I don't know if it was a half-speed mastering and MoFi pressing of this album once, but they wanted like $40-50 for it. I wasn't gonna pay that. This was real cheap, so why not? Next, a couple prog records, or prog sounding records coming up here. The first one is from Asia. This is called Then and Now. This is also somewhat of a compilation. There's the back here. So the side 1 is just entitled Then, and it's their hits. The Only Time Will Tell, Heat of the Moment, Wildest Dreams, Don't Cry, Smile Hasn't Left Your Eyes. And then side 2 is more current songs, the Now side, and Now being 1990. And just had some newer songs from Asia at the time. So, pretty cool little package. It's on the Geffen label there. So, not a bad little collection. It's nice to have like a kind of a, I guess you could say, greatest hits collection on one side. Then you got newer songs from 1990 on the other side. The newer songs were just your typical AR, FM rock type of songs, but they weren't bad. I really liked this cover. I thought this was, I kind of just wanted to get it for the cover. I thought the cover was really cool. Images from each of their album covers. I thought that was pretty cool. So went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. It's a good album to have, so I dug it. Why not? So it goes in the Asia collection. This one's going into the Genesis solo collection. A song from Anthony Phillips called Sides. Was pleasantly surprised by this. I only have one album from Anthony Phillips. It was The Ghost and the Geese, I think is what it's called. It was his first solo album. There's a picture of him right there. He left Genesis really early, early 70s when he left the band. It was replaced by Steve Hackett, and things just got better for Genesis after that. So, and it's on Passport, is the label. And this is a good album. It's more of a rock album, more of a AOR/prog album. Came out in 1979. I enjoyed most of this. There's like maybe a couple songs I could have did without, but great instrumental on the first song on the second side. Sisters of Remind 'Em, really good. The first two songs on side 1 I really enjoyed. So really good album to put in the collection. I think I might actually like this more than its first solo album because this is more of a rock album, less orchestral songs. So that's what I liked about it. More rock, less orchestral. So real good stuff. So yeah, Anthony Phillips sides, good addition to the Genesis family collection. This next one was a recommendation actually from a store owner in a shop I frequent a lot. Over the years, he's gotten to know my musical habits and bands I like to collect and such, and so he recommended that album to me, and he recommended this album to me, and I'm glad he did. It's from Steve Hillage. It's a live album, two album set. It's called Live Herald. Really good album. Steve Hillage, best known as the guitarist from the band Gong. There's the gatefold. This is a solo record of his after he had left that band, and really good stuff. Really amazing guitar work on this one. More of a rock fusion type of sound on this record. Really like it. 2-record set, as I was saying. It's an import copy, UK import, and it's on the Virgin label. These are these early 80s labels. We got one side being green, the other side being red. good stuff. That's what the other record looks like as well. Really, really cool stuff. Dug the hell out of this album. Really love spinning it. Really enjoyed this album. Like I said, the guitar work is really good on this album. And it was something I would have never found on my own. That's why it's good to get in tight with the store owners or the people that work at record stores. They get to know you, they get to know your musical taste and what you like to buy. And so when I got there, he recommended the Anthony Phillips record and this one after we had a long little chat about music and concerts and such. So 2 recommendations. I love both albums. I love when that happens. Good stuff. Alright, getting towards the end here. This is a 12-inch single from George Michael, Father Figure. I think in my last video or a couple videos ago, I answered Adam Lee's, Adam's 80s Heaven, his thread about your top songs from the 80s. Father Figure was one of them. I just didn't have anything to show. And in fact, since then, Adam actually sent me some VCLT. He sent my whole top 20 list on CD, and there we go, there's one of them, and there's another one he sent as well, with Father Figure on it, and a bunch of other George Michael songs, and the remaining of my top 20 list. So we put the top 20 list on a couple CDs for me. Thanks a lot, Adam, because I've been taking these to work and listening to them while I work. Makes the day go by a lot nicer. So now I have a digital copy of Father Figure, and I have a vinyl copy of Father Figure, and it sounds fantastic on vinyl. And it's on the Columbia label, so really nice find there. The next one is a 45 from the Bee Gees. This is a 4-song sampler promo for their Greatest Of album. Their Greatest Hits album that came out, I think, in the late 70s. And so this was just a sampler showing 4 songs to promote that Greatest Hits album. It is on the White Label RSO. So there we go. White Label RSO for the Bee Gees. The songs on here were on side 1, Don't Throw It All Away, and If I Can't Have You. Side 2 was Rest Your Love on Me and Wind of Change. Beautiful, all good songs, you know, a ballad, a fast song, nice touch. So really cool to throw this in my 45s collection. I don't see this one out here. I don't see that out in the wild very much, and for good reason. So it's a promo only copy, but very nice one to have as well. And just to show that there's no shame in my game, I'll even show records that embarrass me. I got from Linda Ronstadt, Greatest Hits Volume 1, Greatest Hits Volume 2. On vinyl, there we go, there's the back of them. Each of them cost me $1. The reason I picked these up was there's a radio station here in town called The River, KRVR, and I listen to that in the morning while working. And the DJ there on that morning shift really seems to like Linda Ronstadt. He plays about 3 or 4 of her songs every morning, and you get to hear that enough times, it just sticks with you. and it got me humming Linda Ronstadt songs every morning, so I figured, what the hell, I like them on the radio, might as well buy them on vinyl. Collecting her stuff is not very expensive and very, very easy to find. And I gotta admit, back in the day, Linda Ronstadt was quite a cutie. That's not the best picture of her, but that sure is. Yeah, real nice, real nice. And both these records are on the Asylum label. I could just get it right side up here. There we go. And I remember she was one of my mother's favorite singers back in the 70s. My mom used to play her music around the house and sing along to it all the time. So a lot of this reminds me of childhood, like Brothers Johnson and these. They remind me of my childhood, growing up as a kid in the 70s. That was a good time for music, you know? You think about the movies and the music and all the TV shows that came out during the 70s. That was a good time to grow up. I felt lucky to be just a little boy in the 70s. So, Linda Ronstadt, what the hell? Alright, that's it, folks. That is my vinyl dig video for the week. It was a 3-day weekend, so I hope everybody fired up the grill, had a few brews, and just took it easy for one day. God knows I needed it. So I'm right there with you. Anyway, please leave me some comments, and let's get a little chat going. It's always nice having that interaction with the viewers, so please do that, and I'll see you at the next video.